Introverted Intuition. Ooh, it's the mystical thing. The thing that everybody's like, oh, I know the future. The ability to predict and recognize patterns in a different way versus its extroverted counterpart. This is for the Cognitive Stack series. If you don't know what the freak I'm talking about, feel free to scroll back a few or go find us over on YouTube. Link in the bio. Introverted Intuition says, I can see the future. Everybody has introverted intuition. Yes, you use this function, believe it or not. No, you're not a fortune teller. Unless you are, then message me personally. But for real, we all use introverted intuition in different ways. There are 16 personalities, 8 cognitive stacks. This crap's been around for a long, long time. So if you're trying to discredit it, don't take it up with me. It's not based on zodiacs or your birthday. It's based upon your actual freaking brain, your personality, how you show up in the world and how you use this one. Now, this is a very private function. This is the thing that says, okay, something feels off, but it's not like the FI version of that. Like, I feel like this today. I need to wear this because it makes me look good. That's why FI users tend to be a little more flashy. But NI users are those gut checking, like, I can see. It's the vision function. Some personalities are scared of it. Some personalities use it for evil, or they can. And some personalities use it to try to help other people. But let's go down each personality and why it is used the way that it is, and how you can have a dark and light version of each personality type, how people can abuse it, and how you yourself can have a better future. Because that's what we all want, really. Even if you want it to be bad, you're wanting it to be good in a bad way. So don't even try to play with this one. All right, here we go. Dominant users and the ones who take the most pride in their NI ability are none other than the infamous INFJs. Hey, how are you? How you doing? And of course, our INTJ counterpart. INTJs utilize their visionary focus to be so in their head that they don't show the emotion. INFJs use FE as their parental function to help you with your future. This is why INFJs get stepped on like crazy, because they see the good in everybody. They can see the good, they can see the manipulative people, they can see all of that, but because they're FE parents, they feel this need to help you. If an INFJ has taken in somebody who has a very, very bad record of history, I'm talking legal, with, all kinds of words that I shouldn't say on this platform, and yet they still see them as a nice person, oh, there's some good in them. Next thing you know, they can't find their keys and their car is gone. True story. Freaking INFJs. You're like the very, very divine type, yet look at the practicality. Like, dude's a bad dude. Bad history. Oh, he's just a hurt mutt. He'll come back. Yeah. With or without your car. So you can see how the visionary stuff gets stepped on for the INFJ, hence they have this spiraling in which they're like, why am I so misunderstood? I just want to see the good in people. And then that kind of crap happens. So you can see how their visionary function, NI-dominant with FE, is just, oh, man. But you have those INFJs who have their walls up, their guards on, and they have been hurt so many times that they know where the walls are. They know where the thing is. And being FI authenticity checker, this is becoming an INFJ video, I'm so sorry. They can see how they could get hurt so they don't make those mistakes again. And I think, and feel free to flood the comments with this, every INFJ has to get hurt to use this function that way. So feel free to jump at that one. All right, let's move on to the INTJ. INTJs use efficiency as a form of teaching with their vision. So INTJs know like a lot of information. Being TI critics, of course, they love information and they love like teaching, but they're just stereotypically monotoned and so like straight line that people consider them boring. However, I beg to differ because one of my best friends is INTJ and he's my shadow. I've mentioned many times we make music together. Again, link in the bio. But you can see as he makes the music how it's very INTJ on his own, and when we're together it's a mix of INTJ and ESFP. So it's a fascinating combination when you're utilizing your subconscious and how that works. Remember, the most flashy type is the ESFP. Like, I can't stop moving. But the INTJ is not that way at all. Like, this is how they would teach. Even though they have a crap load of information to share with you, they want to entertain. That's why they're SE, inferior, aspirational. But because they see everything, they're really good at lie detecting. Like, that's why they're known as lie detectors. Again, this is where the NI thing comes in. This is why these two types are like, you can't fool me. Now, this isn't necessarily a logical fooling. This is a visionary fooling. So they can predict. Now, okay. I don't know why the dominant users of each function take so long in the videos. I'm so sorry. But we're going to move on to the NI parents. So I just realized I haven't finished the NE shadows yet. If you want that, let me know. Put NE shadow in the comments and I will get to that. But nobody's asked for it yet. We might just do the top 4 on this one. If you do want the NI shadows, put that in the comments as well. NI shadow, and I'll get to that too. Lots of information here, guys. Okay, let's jump onto the NI parents. These are people who use NI as a parental function, meaning they feel like they need to see the future. They need to have a vision, even though that is not their dominant function. Naturally, you can see how the ENTJs and ENFJs use vision. ENFJs are the reverse of an INFJ. They're the extroverted version of that awkward love that they do so well. And by awkward, I mean they have that oblivious nature to just be so bubbly and supportive no matter what the thing is. It's a fascinating thing. An ENFJ is always involved, but they have this hesitation when you have a new idea. Like they'll consider it, and months later they'll be like, yeah, that was a good idea, maybe that would be good. They brew on this NI vision thing, and it's like, I've worked with a good number of them. Remember, I come from the music and film industries, and as the actor and person who makes soundtrack, I pitch it to these ENFJ. I did one again just recently, and I said, hey, I can revamp that song, which was a song I made, and they were like, no, I like the old one. Exact same story to two of these guys, both directors and writers. And then when I showed them that I could do it, they were like, a week later, I thought about it and you're right. As a personal trainer, I had a client, ENFJ as well. I talked to him about creatine. Now, there's no side effects to creatine, okay? Do your studies. And months later, he was like, what do you feel about creatine? I'm like, I told you about creatine months ago. And he's like, well, I'm on it now and it feels great, right? This is where the TI inferior comes in, because that's information, that's truth, and they're like scared of fact. So we're way going into depth of how this plays off. INFJs are different with information. They just love to research, versus an ENFJ has this weird lag when it comes to new concepts, because they're also J personalities just like the INFJ. But you can see how they're always helping people, ENFJing, FE dominant, and then they use NI because they can see how their vision is helping other people, because ENFJs are typically more on the leadership side versus an INFJ who has more of a rare case of leadership. So anyway, moving on. ENTJs, natural leaders, naturally confident, and their dominant functions efficiency, they are bred purely for amazingness in corporations, in financial success, just dominating the frickin' planet. So Trump is an ENTJ, okay? Fight me. Trump is an ENTJ, not ESTP. Fight me. Yeah, Trump is an ENTJ. Fight me. For real. Give me solid reasons to disagree with me. Big picture, highly in his head, and ENTJs do have a selfish nature. They also see the best in people no matter what happens. They're FE demon, and anyway, that's a whole thing, ENTJs. So those are the top 4 users of NI. NI DOMs, INTJ, INFJ, and NI parents, ENTJ and ENFJ. You can see how they have this vision for their own thing. It's an inner vision that they can use, and you see each how they function differently. Because we're running out of time, I don't want to jump too hastily on these lower 3 and 4 NI users, because I am a 4th user of NI, and it's nuts how it comes through. NI child users, basically they use vision like a 10-year-old, and they're insecure about it. It's the tantrum factor. They'll throw a tantrum if the thing that they want didn't come into play. And when I say tantrum, it's not a big boisterous toddler type of tantrum, even though that's technically what the child factor is played off of with the word child function. It's more like a subtle, passive, hurt, mopey, awkward thing. And the way that they have this, because it's an inner function, they're both introverts, and I'm just going to say it, ISTPs and ISFPs. Their intuition is so childlike that they ISTPs are more on the independent side. ISFPs typically rely upon a select few or very solidified small group of people, because they have this inner desire to entertain and utilize their art to explore the world, but they don't typically just do it alone. They like to share with it, but subtly. They like to share their adventures subtly with you. So if you watch an ISFP, the man bun type of people, the granola people, they're like, they have this wall up, and they're always aware of who's around them. They're very guarded in that regard, but they're not always sure, because they're trying to express themselves, but in a quiet, I'm cute way. It's adorable. Everybody loves a good ISFP, especially a healthy one. An unhealthy one is scary as frick. So be careful. They're flighty. They will spread rumors. They are the unhealthy ISFPs. I made a video on that a little while back. So if you're curious, if you know one of those, ISTPs are so mysterious and quiet that it's hard as an ESFP to watch them in nature, because they're out hunting, they're out doing their own projects, typically a physical SE thing. So their vision is usually for the projects that they're working on. That's why they're so good at mechanics and trades, because they can see how the project can be done, move on to the next puzzle. But ISFPs have this desire to be something, but get squashed a lot. Squashed. Anyway, my hand is going numb. I haven't even gotten to the NI Aspirational and Inferiors, which is, of course, the ESTPs and ESFPs. My favorite NI users. My arm is going dead. Let me know if you want it. Okay. All right. Love you guys. Hope that helps with Introverted Intuition. I'm Eric freaking Osmond. Go check everything out on YouTube for all the other stuff. Share this with an NI user and see if I'm wrong or dead right. I love you. Get away from my face.